First, I strongly support removing any Essential Voices books in our classroom that have sexual content. It's inappropriate.
Immediately remove books from the Essential Voices collection that violate Florida's parental rights in education. The content that would tend to sexualize children. Inappropriate.
We're taking reading materials out of the classroom. I'm not sure how we expect that to improve their reading and literacy rates, especially when this was done during Literacy Week, at least at my children's school.
Our schools have a very diverse population. Kids from all marginalized identities fill our classrooms in all grade levels, and our libraries need to reflect that.
Just last month, I attended a school meeting where there was talk of placing guns in the teachers' hands to protect our children, and I just feel confused by the thought that we don't trust our teachers enough to place books in our children's hands, but we trust them to hold guns. So that feels confusing to me.
With all these books being gone, are our teachers going to be given more resources? They've been begging us for more resources, and we want to support them and want them to have those. So with more books leaving, will they be supported in other ways? With all the time being spent on the books, how is that helping our schools be safer places for our students? And finally, I would just say my biggest concern is not our children being endangered by books, but by bullets.
I've got a little one who's about to turn 4 and hopefully going to be in pre-K this fall. We're big bookworms, and my kids have the privilege of having a lot of books at home, but I know that not all kids have that privilege. They also don't have the privilege to be able to go to the library. They don't have the privilege to order books off of Amazon. And so I think we need to be really intentional in thinking about that when we're thinking about what we're doing with the books in our schools.
I am a student of Douglas Anderson School of the Arts in the theater department. I was in the play Indecent, which was recently canceled. It was a show that celebrated the Jewish and queer community, but in it being canceled, I lost the opportunity as a student to celebrate who I am. This, along with the banning and removal of so many important books and stories from our classroom, is hurting my education as a student.
And I'm going to share my second grader's letter expressing his feelings about books being removed from his classroom. Why do all of the books have to be checked if they are appropriate or not? Why do you get to learn and we don't get to learn? It's no fair. I want our books back. My classroom is sad about the books. We need diverse representation in our books. Kids need to be able to see themselves, their family members, and their friends in the books that they read. Representation in books builds empathy, compassion, and humanity. Representation literally saves lives. Banning and censoring books is immoral and backward, and I hope that we can get the books back ASAP.
It is Black History Month, and of course, you know, the irony in all of this is how can we celebrate Black History Month and teach our kids about Black history when we are whitewashing Black history? Books are being pulled off the shelves due to this recent legislation, this unfortunate legislation. And Duval County is one of the counties that is encouraging teachers and staff to err on the side of caution. This is going to result in a complete erasure of any representation because our teachers are fearful of being charged with a felony. This climate of fear is not healthy. I'm sure we're all familiar with the famous quote, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." We're doing our children a huge disservice by shielding them from even the ugly parts of our history.